Now, there's a new political flashpoint that has erupted over the Afghan Foreign Minister Amir Khan Muttaqi's press interaction that was held yesterday. At this press interaction, which was conducted at the Afghan Embassy in the national capital, reportedly no women journalists, as per instructions from the embassy itself, were allowed in the press conference. The opposition is now mounting a very sharp attack. They are questioning why the government allowed a foreign fundamental to dictate such terms on Indian soil, calling it an insult to some of the most competent women in the country. They are now demanding that there should be a clarification why such misogyny was actually tolerated by the Indian government. The Ministry of External Affairs, however, has issued a clarification stating that the Indian government had no involvement in the event. The interaction took place within the premises of the Afghan Embassy, which effectively is Afghan soil.
This is the ultimate dishonour to the women of India that our government has participated in this, has been a willing participant, has used taxpayers' money to fund this exercise, where women journalists who have been asked to leave the room. What is going on? You're talking about Beti Bachao, you're talking about, women in India, you're talking about Maas and Behens and all of that, and you are providing at taxpayer expense official protocol and the red carpet for a delegation, for a government delegation that is actually on Indian soil, dishonoring our values and asking for women to be removed from the room.
My colleague Milan Sharma is now joining me on the story. Milan, very sharp questions being asked by the opposition party. We just heard TMC's Mahua Moitra, who's saying that this is misogyny and the Indian government should not have allowed this.
Well, the MEA, the Ministry of External Affairs, has clarified on record saying that they had no involvement in the press conference that was held in the Afghan Embassy by the Afghan authorities in this regard for Muttaqi. But certainly the questions that are being asked at this moment is that whether MEA was actually aware of such kind of discrimination that is being meted out to women journalists in India. And that question currently has not really been put on clearance by the MEA. They've not clarified on whether they were aware that women journalists have not been invited for this particular press conference. And the Afghan authorities systematically have sent out invitations only to male journalists. Having said that, we know, of course, that the way women are oppressed in Afghanistan and the laws that they follow over there certainly are not the law of the land in this country, where, as we mentioned, we have a robust community of women journalists, and not just journalists. Women are in every field of work, politics, as well as economics, and therefore the question here is why this kind of discrimination was allowed. Did the MEA have anything in their hands? Could they have controlled it? Could they have influenced a change in decision of the Afghan authorities or not? But certainly Muttaqi, the foreign minister, is facing a lot of flack in India. It's a democracy and we give equal rights to men and women for betting out this kind of discrimination, especially to women journalists of the fraternity.
Right, Milan, we are seeing a clarification has come in, but certain questions that we are seeing now, the opposition leaders asking. If we look at Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, she's also written about it. Mahua Moitra also has spoken about it. So most of the oppositions are now saying that this actually shows that the Indian government should have rather said no to this. The MEA, however, has come out and given out a clarification.
Well, certainly the opposition leaders like Mahua Moitra from the TMC as well as Priyanka Gandhi has taken to social media and put forward their views, saying that the government often talks about women empowerment, brings out women-centric schemes, facilitates women empowerment in the country. And while on the other hand, the External Affairs Ministry is quoting the Afghan Foreign Minister in India. He's here on a tour. He's not just in Delhi, but he's going to Uttar Pradesh, in Deoband, and he's also expected to go to Agra after this. And was the MEA aware of all these programs? And of course, Indian journalists, for that matter, were called for this press briefing, but unfortunately, they were only male journalists who were called for the particular briefing in New Delhi. And this has received a lot of flack, not just from the women journalists, but also the opposition members. The women opposition members are talking loudly about it now, because we also speak about women representation in parliament, and this happens to be a very, crucial issue, discrimination of women journalists in this particular way.
Right, Milan, please stay on with me.